A rectangular box has an area of 14 centimeters squared and a perimeter of 15 centimeters. Okay, using W as the width and L as the length, first of all, write an equation in terms of W and L to show the area. Alright, so let us see if we can get that rectangular box in the first place. Let's see, let's say this is our rectangular box. Okay. Now, W is the width. Let's say this is W. And L the length. Let's call it the length. Let it look more like the height. Now, write an equation in W and L to show the area. But the thing is, the area is 14. If you multiply W by L, you get the area. So WL is equal to 14 centimeters squared. See that? Right, what else do they say you should do? Write an equation in terms of W and L to show the perimeter. Okay. Now this was part 1 of the question. Now let's look at this as part 2 of the question. And we have W up the bottom, W at the top, L on the right, L on the left. Now the perimeter. If we start here, so at this corner here, we go W. So W plus, go down L, that's L plus, then we go across, that's W, W plus, and then we go up L, that's L, equals, what's the perimeter they say again? 15 centimeters. So that is 15. Now, that can be simplified as you have W plus W, so that's 2W plus L is 2L equals 15. Alright? Now what else they say? Part 3. Let's write 3 down here. Roman numeral. So part 3. Solve the simultaneous equation. Solve the simultaneous equation, I guess it should be created. Alright, that was an error there. Solve the simultaneous equation, created. To determine the length and width of the rectangle. Alright. So, what can we say about this now? We have W, L equals 14. So, the reason why they call it simultaneous equation is because you have 2 of them and you can work both of them together to solve. Alright? So WL equals 14. So WL equals 14. We could call this equation 1 and the 2W plus, so 2W plus 2L equals 15. Let's call this equation 2. Well, you notice equation 2, we could just divide both sides, right? We could divide both sides by 2. So if we do that, we have W plus L is equal to 7.5. This is still equation 2, just that we divided it, alright? Now, let us transpose equation 2 for either W or L and substitute in equation 1, alright? Suppose we make L the subject of the formula of the equation. So L is equal to 7.5 minus W. This is still equation 2. It is transposed. See that? Now, substitute in equation 1. Equation 1 says W multiplied by L is equal to 14. But L is 7.5 minus W. So when we do that, we will have only one unknown. We can solve this single equation as it is with two unknowns, but we can do it with one unknown. So it's W times L, but L is 7.5 minus W, so it's W times 7.5 minus W is equal to 14. See that? So, let us expand the bracket, work it out, and see what happens. So this would be 7.5 W minus W by W, that's W squared, is equal to 14. So now what you see looks like a quadratic equation in W. Alright? It's a quadratic equation in W. Let us rewrite it as negative W squared. Oh, let's put everything on the left first. 7.5 W minus W squared minus 14 equals 0. So this is negative W squared plus 7.5 W minus 14 equals 0. Let us multiply both sides by negative 1 so that we have positive W squared. So we have W squared minus 7.5 W plus 14 equals 0. Alright. So there we have that. Alright. Now, we can solve this. I was thinking of doing it using factorization. If we multiply both sides by 2, we get whole numbers. But could it be done using completing the square? Well, of course, you can use completing the square to do any quadratic. 7.5, let's write it as a fraction. 7.5 is 7.5, but as an improper fraction, this would be 7 2s 14 and 15 over 2. So we have W squared minus, well, plus negative 15 over 2 W, right? Let me put some space there, plus 14 equals 0. Or let's write it this way first. Plus 14 equals 0. I like the idea of practicing the completing the square. Right? So here, if we do that, what we can do is add 14 to both sides. I was thinking of keeping everything on the left at first, but let's add 14 to both sides. W squared plus negative 15 over 2 W equals, I had said add 14 to both sides. I should say subtract 14 from both sides. Minus 14 equal negative 14, right? Now, to form a complete square, we're going to add something here. And if we add something on the left, we must add the same thing on the right. But what are we going to add? If you remember, you're completing the square properly. If you were practicing them a lot, you'd remember that if we have something like x plus h squared, when you expand that, what we have is x squared plus 2hx plus h squared. Now, this forms a perfect square, which is equal to this. Alright? So, when we are at this point, what we add is half the coefficient of x, and then you square that. So you add half the coefficient of x, and then you square it, because the coefficient of x is 2h. Half of 2h is h, and then when you square h, you get h squared. Remember that? So let's see how it goes in this case. Let's rewrite it here. It's w squared plus negative 15 over 2 w plus equal negative 14. Now what you're going to add, first of all, the coefficient of, well, in this case it's not x anymore, it's w. But the x plus h is the general format when you write it like that. Now here, the coefficient of w is negative 15 over 2. What is half of negative 15 over 2? It's negative 15 over 4. So what you're going to add is negative 15 over 4 squared. Half the coefficient of x squared. Alright? You add it on the left, so you must also add it on the right. Negative 15 over 4 squared. So what you have, this is in the form of a perfect square. It is in the form x squared plus 2hx plus h squared. But you want to write it as x plus h squared. In this case, what is h? Well, h squared, negative 15 over 4 squared. So it shows that h is negative 15 over 4. So what we have is w plus, well, plus negative 15 over 4 r squared. But since we have it like that, we can just write w minus 15 over 4 r squared. Alright? X plus h squared. That's what we have here. And that is equal to, and then we have to sort out this part now. Alright? So we have negative 14 plus 15, 15. From what I remember, that's 225. That's going to be 15 squared. Is 225 over 4 squared is 16. Well, I write 14. 4 squared is 16. Alright. Now, This is the same as negative 14 over 1. If we do this now, w minus 15 over 4 all squared equals, if we multiply both top and bottom here by 16, we say 14 by 16. What is 14 multiplied by 16? We're going to do it off the air, and I have 224. So negative 224 over 1 by 16 is 16, plus 225 over 16, that would be what? Oh, negative 224 plus 225, that's 1 over 16. Alright. So what we have is w minus 15 over 4 all squared is equal to 1 over 16. We've run out of scrolling space, so let's continue over this side. Let's draw a line first of all to separate the work into two parts. Alright, so w minus 15 over 4 squared so w minus 15 over 4 squared is equal to 1 over 16. Let's just check back to make sure that's what it said. Yeah, w minus 15 over 4 all squared is equal to 1 over 16. And then it's now a matter of working it out. Now remember, we're taking longer and showing a lot more things than we would do in exam, because this is for learning and understanding purposes. Alright? So what would happen here now? If you square root both sides, you have the square root of w minus 15 over 4 r squared. And remember, it's positive and negative square root of 1 over 16, right? It's positive and negative square root. But if you square root this thing, when you square root something squared, you get back that something. Because it's like the square and the square root cancel one another. So what you have is w minus 15 over 4 equals positive and negative. Well, you know the square root of 1 over 16, that is 1 over 4, alright? You want to find out what w is. Let's add 15 over 4 to both sides. W is equal to positive and negative a quarter plus 15 over 4. So you're going to get two w's. You have w equal quarter plus 15, 1 quarter plus 15 quarter, and w equals negative 1 quarter plus 15 quarters. So w is 1 quarter plus 15 quarter is 16 quarter. In this case, w is 4. And the other one, negative 1 quarter plus 15 quarter. Negative 1 plus 15 is going to be what now? Negative 1 plus 15 is 14. So that's w is 14 quarter. So w is 14 over 4. It's going to be what? 14, 4 3s 12, 3 and 2 left over. 3 and, well, oh, we didn't have to be working it like this. We could cancel down, man. 7 over 2. 14 over 4 is 7 over 2. So 2, 3, 6. This is 6 and a half. That's right. I mean 3 and a half. So it's 3.5. So those are the two values that we get for W. So that is it for now.